On October 2, 2025, the skies over occupied Crimea became a stage for a masterfully planned Ukrainian military operation. In a series of highly coordinated strikes, Ukrainian forces targeted critical Russian military assets across the peninsula. The objectives were clear: take out high-value air and naval surveillance planes, destroy transport helicopters, and punch a hole in Russia's vaunted air defense network. This operation wasn't just a random attack. It was a clear signal of Ukraine's evolving long-range strike capabilities, designed to break down Russia's military hold on Crimea systematically. The first move happened in the quiet pre-dawn hours. Ukrainian special forces launched a swarm of kamikaze drones toward a key airbase deep within Crimean territory. Their target was a pair of Beriev B-12 amphibious aircraft. Though these planes were a relic of the Soviet era, they served a vital purpose for Russia's modern Black Sea fleet. At first glance, the B-12, with its twin turboprop engines, looks like something from a bygone era. NATO even calls it the Mail. But its role in this conflict was anything but outdated. Originally built for anti-submarine warfare, equipped with sonar buoys and magnetic anomaly detectors to hunt submarines, its mission had shifted. It was now one of Russia's best tools for hunting a new and persistent threat: Ukraine's naval drones. These Ukrainian uncrewed surface vessels are small, fast, and hug the water, making them incredibly difficult for standard ship-based radar systems to detect. The B-12, however, could fly low and slow for hours, acting as a crucial set of eyes in the sky. It scanned huge areas of the Black Sea, spotting these stealthy sea drones as they left their launch points or raced toward Russian warships. The plane also served as a general maritime patrol craft, keeping an eye on NATO movements and providing a broad picture of everything happening across the sea. The Ukrainian drone strike was a success. It was confirmed that two B-12 aircraft were destroyed on the ground at their airbase. This was just about eliminating two old planes. It was a strategic move to blind the Black Sea fleet, taking away its primary weapon against Ukraine's sea drones and crippling its surveillance abilities. The immediate result was the creation of a massive blind spot for the Russian Navy, making it far more likely that future Ukrainian naval drone attacks would succeed. As the smoke cleared from the first strike, a second simultaneous attack was already unfolding elsewhere on the peninsula. This time, the targets were Russian army helicopters and a vital piece of Crimea's air defense system. Ukrainian forces struck another airfield, successfully destroying 3 Russian Mi-8 transport helicopters on the ground. The Mi-8, known to NATO as the HIP, is the workhorse of the Russian military, seen everywhere. Its versatile design means it can do almost anything: transport troops, carry supplies, evacuate the wounded, or provide fire support. In a contested area like Crimea, where supply routes on the ground are constantly under threat, these helicopters provide the essential mobility needed to keep operations running. Losing 3 of them in a single attack was a significant blow to the Russian military's flexibility and its ability to respond quickly to threats on the peninsula. But the most important target of this second strike was a 55ZH-6U Nebo-U mobile radar system. This radar is a cornerstone of Russia's entire air defense strategy. It's designed to spot a wide range of aerial threats from hundreds of kilometers away, everything from fighter jets and ballistic missiles to stealthy cruise missiles like the Storm Shadow and Scalp-G. The success of these October 2 operations immediately called into question the strength of Russia's multi-billion-dollar air defense bubble over Crimea. The effectiveness of the Ukrainian attacks highlighted several deep-seated weaknesses in Russian military technology and tactics. First, advanced Russian systems like the S-400 were primarily built to deal with big, fast, high-flying targets like fighter jets and ballistic missiles. Their powerful radars and expensive interceptor missiles are optimized for that fight. In contrast, the kamikaze drones Ukraine uses are small, often made of composite materials that don't reflect radar well and fly very low to the ground. Using a multi-million-dollar S-400 missile to shoot down a cheap drone is not only a waste of money but often doesn't work. It's like using a sledgehammer to swat a fly. Second, Ukrainian forces have become experts at exploiting these weaknesses. They often use complex, multi-layered attacks. A first wave might consist of simple, low-cost decoy drones. These are sent in to make the Russian air defenses turn on their radars and start firing, revealing their positions and wasting precious ammunition. As the defenses are busy dealing with the decoys, A second, more powerful wave of strike drones and missiles comes in from different directions and altitudes. This swarm tactic is designed to completely overwhelm even the most advanced air defense systems. Third, persistent problems within the Russian military itself are likely a contributing factor. Reports continue to surface about poor training, sloppy maintenance routines, and breakdowns in communication and command. A technologically advanced weapon is only as good as the soldiers operating it and the logistics keeping it running. These internal issues appear to be making Russia's expensive hardware far less effective in reality than it is on paper. The strategic value of the October 2nd strikes became glaringly obvious just 24 hours later. On October 3rd, Ukraine followed up with more attacks, this time hitting two of the most important Russian airfields in Crimea, Kucha and Belbek. Kucha is home to the Black Sea Fleet naval aviation units, while Belbek, near Sevastopol, hosts some of Russia's most advanced fighter jets. Looking at the bigger picture, Ukraine's strategic goal seems to be the complete neutralization of Crimea as a Russian military launch pad. With air defenses now proven to be vulnerable, the logical next targets will be the remaining command centers, large ammunition depots, and naval bases in Sevastopol and Feodosia. And of course, the ultimate prize remains the Kerch Bridge, the only direct land link between Crimea and the Russian mainland. These military actions have already caused significant ripples. Following the strikes, reports emerged of a massive increase in civilian traffic heading toward the Kerch Bridge. The long lines of cars suggest a growing exodus of Russian civilians who moved to Crimea after its annexation in 2014. This ISNT, an organized government evacuation at a spontaneous flight, a clear sign of a widespread loss of faith in Russia's ability to protect the peninsula. This exodus is a major setback for Russia's long-term project to change the demographics of Crimea by moving its own citizens there. Beyond the peninsula, the systematic dismantling of the Russian Black Sea Fleet is causing a major geopolitical shift for nearly 200 years. That fleet, headquartered in Sevastopol, was Russia's primary tool for projecting power across the entire region. Its neutralization by Ukrainian Crimea missiles and drones has created a power vacuum, and that vacuum is quickly being filled by the region's other naval heavyweight, Turkey. The dramatic decline of Russian naval power has fundamentally changed the strategic balance, elevating Turkey to the position of the dominant maritime force in the Black Sea. This has several major implications. First, it makes the 1936 Montreux Convention, which gives Turkey control over the Bosphorus and Dardanelles Straits, more important than ever. With no strong Russian navy to challenge its authority, Turkey has power to control which warships can enter or leave the Black Sea, gives it enormous diplomatic leverage. Second, it makes vital east-west energy routes more secure. Pipelines carrying oil and gas from the Caspian Sea to Europe, along with offshore natural gas fields being developed by Turkey. Romania and Bulgaria are now safer from Russian military intimidation. Finally, it strengthens Turkey's role as a key security provider within NATO, for neighboring NATO members like Romania and Bulgaria. The diminished Russian threat from Sevastopol is a huge relief, with Turkey and the broader NATO alliance now serving as the main guarantors of their security. At the end of the topic, the events of October 2nd and 3rd were far more than just a few successful military strikes. They were key moments in a deliberate and systematic campaign that has crippled Russia's military capabilities in Crimea, sparked a crisis of confidence among the occupying population, and sped up a historic power shift in the Black Sea. Russia's strategic gamble to secure the northern Black Sea coast has backfired, leading to the decimation of its historic fleet and the transfer of maritime dominance to a key NATO member.